All right, everybody, we're off and running. Neil Rule, Sean Belizean in the house. We got KG, Spencer Raxter, all of you. All right, let's get into the game itself. Because I saw, I don't know if you do it, Sean, but I do. You keep the social media open to kind of keep tabs on what's going on around the world. Yeah. I do too. And for me, it's, I don't understand it. I don't understand the whole taking out of Holton and bringing in Foley.
I didn't understand that either.
You want me to explain it to you?
Sure, go ahead.
Absolutely, because it's very, very simple. And A.J. Hinch said as much. Do you think it's a better spot to bring Foley in there, or do you think it's a better spot to bring Foley in with 2 on and nobody out?
Bring him in there.
Clean inning.
Yeah.
Those were Joe's, and it makes so much sense. It's perfectly understandable. That's A.J. Hinch. Who are we talking about, man?
Yeah.
Who are we talking about here?
It was the fandom that got in me because Tyler Holton has been absolutely amazing this year. Jason Foley toward the end of the year
because of that,
kind of been up and
guess
down.
where he gets to be amazing again.
Yep, that's true. You did preserve him.
You nailed it. We have the luxury of including emotion into situations.
Mm-hmm.
It is the fandom, and you know what? You have to take emotion out of these equations. Neil, listen, I think I know where you're going with this. Like, if A.J. Hinch hasn't proven to you what so many of the baseball people have said about how he's next level thinking, it's never going to happen. That's a you problem. It certainly isn't an A.J. problem because, all I can do is, if you remember, and I'm sorry to bring up dark days, but this is for comparison reasons to put him on a level that he deserves to be on. Do you remember how everybody told us how smart Brad Ausmus was? I mean, he was Mensa, right?
I always heard it. I never saw it.
Right.
Ask Brad.
He'll tell you.
He was Mensa, okay? And honestly, 2 years in, I felt like a really dumb baseball fan. And I would ask people, I'd like, Neil, tug on his shirt like a little kid. Neil, can I ask you a question? You promise not to yell at me. Neil, why is Brad Ausmus so smart? What is the Brad Ausmus difference? Does he run the room?
Ivy League education.
Right. Does he run the room? Is it his in-game decisions? Please, because I feel
Can I
really,
have some evidence?
I feel really dumb right now, and I'm kind of tired of people yelling at me, and you're just trying to be different. You're trying to be a hater and everything. You don't have to have those questions about A.J. Hinch.
No.
Nobody's walking up to Neil and tugging on him or going to one of the full-fledged card-carrying members of the baseball elite and going, hey, man, why is A.J. Hinch such a great manager? He's shown you. Isn't that beautiful? I mean, really, that's what we've been able to see, especially, I think, down these last couple of months. And to that point, I think I'm a big fan of cachet, and we talk about the cachet that Dan Campbell has or the cachet that Brad Holmes had. I'm a big fan of cachet. I think A.J. Hinch has a big credit line right now, Neil.
No doubt.
Big credit line.
And the bottom line with it all, Sean, is you know what he does, and Dan Campbell does this too, and I've noticed, if you notice the new wave of good coaches, not the ones I'm told are good, that I'm looking around going, man, this Nick Sirianni guy, like, I keep hearing he's good, but I never see it.
He's a bum.
Rocco Baldelli's just brilliant.
Yeah. Played the game, Sean. No, you know what it does? He stands in front of the microphone and says, this is what I was thinking. This is why I did what I did. Mm-hmm. He takes up for us. Now, there's a degree of you have to take up for your guys, just like, Sean, you've done this business a long time. I actually looked up to you before we met and became friends in that you never... no, but I use this. I got this from Mario Mpemba when he and I worked together too. When you're up front and you're on the mic and you're on the camera, if something goes wrong, you got to figure it out. Mm-hmm. And if KG makes an audio mistake, you know who knows that KG made the audio mistake? KG. He doesn't need me up here saying, "Oh, guys, I can't hear this. I can't hear what's going on. I don't know what's going to happen." I'm going to make it work, because that's the job. And if it doesn't work, it's
a good day.
Then it's on me, because I'm the one that's going to get the tweets and everything like that, and I'm cool with that. That's what comes with the job. He explains it to you. And he does what he's supposed to do.
Such a great point, Neil. And I think, it's funny you're tying it into our business, but I think it's a life thing. You don't have to let people know what they don't know already, right? Sometimes things happen behind the scenes, if that makes sense. And Spenny may screw up. But if the audience doesn't know that Spenny screwed up, well, then why on earth would Neil and I go, all right, I gotta say something about this Spenny guy, okay? I almost swore and we're on Fox 2. I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, shout out Fox 2.
No, shout out. But you know what I mean? And I think, and that's sometimes, okay, a manager doesn't have to pull back the curtain.
No.
Okay, he doesn't have to. Maybe there are other things going on and he's going to protect his guy or he's going to try to logically explain it in a way without throwing his guy under the bus. But my goodness gracious, you're right, whether it's you, KG, or you, Spenny, if something's happening behind the scenes that you guys don't know about in viewer land or listener land, well, why the hell would I need to bring it to attention?
Right.
It doesn't make any sense to me.
But he addresses the main issue.
Yep.
And he explains it, and like Dan Campbell talks about it, and he just said it was a better situation for Foley to walk into a clean inning than it is with that place. And you guys...
He know what he got.
In that ninth inning, KG, that feeling you got in that bottom of the ninth, that's what I was afraid of.
Yeah.
That place got rocking like...
It did.
It's a crazy, crazy environment there. That's what I was afraid of. And I agree with him, even if it didn't work, and he would have got murdered, but he's still getting questions about it. Like, people are questioning about it today because, like, it's got to be perfect, right? It can't just be you won. There's got to be style to it. But with that being said, he just explained it, and it's 1,000% right. I know I would rather come in and kind of choose my own adventure than be dropped into the middle of the book.
Right. And you have to execute.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know, like it was the right move. Even if it didn't work, it was the right move. And Tyler Holton starts today. And you're probably going to squeeze 2, if he goes quick, 3 innings out of him.
Absolutely.
And there's nobody that I would rather have. We got nothing to lose. We got the lead. We got the puppeteer pulling the strings right now. We'll get just enough hits to win.
Yep.
And
that's why I told you, Nick.
87% of the time you win the series when you win game 1. Look at all the road teams that won yesterday.
Isn't it amazing too how sometimes drama and fate intersect at the same intersection? Hunter Brown's on the mound today. This is a local guy. Shout out to Wayne State Warriors and Coach Ryan Kelly, a guy that made his name at Wayne State and a guy that quietly is having a really good season. And the one thing that I've noticed about Hunter Brown, because I've kept tabs on him, being a Wayne State guy, the one thing I've noticed about Hunter Brown is he's one of those pitchers that he'll get himself in trouble. If you take a look at his whip, his whip's pretty high. Yeah. I think it's 127, right? But my man works out of trouble. He's one of those guys that, okay, I got a couple batters on. All right, what do I got to do? I got to strike this guy out. I got to get the double play ball. And he's really thrived. So isn't it amazing this is clearly the biggest day this franchise has had in 11 years. Make no mistake about that, okay? The biggest day this franchise has had in 11 years. And you got some kid from the shores in Wayne State on the mound for Houston. Just like... You can't script this crap. And that's why, subtle reminder, Neil, I have to give a shout out to my favorite thing about postseason baseball, bunting. And I'm not talking about dropping the ball down. I'm talking about how they put that bunting up. Just everything's better when you got those red, white, and blue bunting things up at the stadium. I'm serious.
Like 4th of July.
Yes. It's a different feel.
That was one of those things. All those games at Comerica Park where you walk into Comerica Park and you're like, this is an opening day. This is October baseball. And you know it by looking at that bunting. I'm one of those guys you should never bunt, baseball term, ever again. But, man, my excitement level goes up 197% when you turn on that TV and you see all the bunting down the first baseline and third baseline and on the upper decks and everything. Everything about it is a magical experience, and the Tigers can get another magical moment in what has been a magical last couple months, to be sure, today against Hunter Brown. You can't script this stuff, and that's why the postseason's so magical.
And yes, Hunter Brown, I think you accurately described him. I was a Hunter Brown owner in fantasy baseball at the beginning of the year, and I had to cut him loose because of exactly what you said. He gets himself into troubles. the starts get shorter, and he really struggled at the beginning of the year. He bounced back nicely, though, in the second half. He kind of got it together. He kind of went as the Astros went.
Yeah.
When, it was kind of a clown car the first 2 months of the season, but then they went back into their mode, and they got it together, and here they are. No, but it's just the wild range of emotions. Jay Cruz in the Woodward Sports chat thread. I'm baptized every time I take a sip of Taller. Testify.
It's so good.
Testify. I feel like a pastor here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Divine Dudley over here.
Testify.